Hello, dear folks. Welcome to the show, the first show of the year of 2015. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody, to your family, to your loved one, to ones, whatever, whoever happens to be watching. Here is the wish, sincere wish from G&E Studio at the show of East West. Happy New Year to every single one of you. Joining me in the wish of the Happy New Year is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemming. Welcome to the show, and welcome to the new year.
Jack, thank you. May I say Happy New Year to all your viewers, and may I thank you, Mr. Sue, and your viewers for allowing me to spend time with you in 2014.
And may I thank you for your participation in the service, and in the service to the community, and to the love of the community.
And I'm so honored.
I really feel proud of you to share part of your thoughts, especially represented by your great book.
Thank you, Jack.
Right, so, and at the new year, while we talk, this moment, precisely within the hour, you'll see the road parade start. Lots of folks by the side of Colorado, please keep yourself warm while celebrating.
Right.
Oh, it's a cold day, isn't it?
And may I share that I was a volunteer for the parade for 26 years in my white suit with my red tie. And so I know the parade very intimately.
All right. And you live right by Colorado, and you have 14 people gathering in your house right now.
Right, to see the parade right in front of seats I have right in front of my place.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay. Can you book me for next year?
You're booked.
Okay, very good.
Absolutely.
I'm booked. All right.
And
good.
bring all your viewers.
Sure. All
Come
right.
on over.
Go. All right. All right. Now, well, every time when we hit the New Year mark, we start to hope for the future, for a better year, for everything in the sense of you know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Everything you do for better, and it has been time for us to recall, to retrospectively look into the year that had just passed by, what had happened.
Right.
I'll give you a subject.
Yes, sir.
I want you to pick up 10 of the major things you can think of.
Surely.
Right. So by looking at those 10 that you picked up, some of those collide with me to be the same.
Sure.
All right. All
yeah,
the same.
Right.
And some you missed, and some I missed.
Of course.
Let's put them together. All right. Shall we, please?
Yeah. And one thing we can say this: it was not a boring year. It was. There were so many tremendous stories, some positive, some negative, and so I hope 2015 is a little more boring. Okay.
2015 a little more boring?
More boring. Not so much activities, not so much trauma and stress, more joy, more positive stories we can share.
Well, anyway, the word, it all depends how you determine the term of boring, being boring, right?
Routine, how about routine?
And nothing, routine, or call it halcyon.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
More peaceful.
Right, more peaceful.
Nothing so big, nothing so excited. Well, too excited.
Right, not too much.
Not too much. Okay, now, look back into the year though. I see that you listed the Obama launch of the website as a horrible event. That's your first.
I won't say a horrible event, but it was not done in a smooth way, and the website just didn't work. And so that's what I mean by horrible. The preparation of it, which cost hundreds of millions of dollars, did not end up in a quality, smooth product. And then the news, of course, talked about
Are you talking about the website failure itself, or you're talking about Obamacare?
Right now, I'm talking about the website failure itself.
Okay, good.
As such a
that is acceptable.
Yeah.
That's acceptable.
Thank you.
So, am I right if I take
Yes, sir.
that the website failure is the worst thing, the first to start, to first be seen of that year past, and the Obamacare tend to be the best thing of the year. So am I right if I take it that way?
Well, I take the first part nicely, yes. The second part, I am not a fan of Obamacare. I don't think it's fiscally responsible. I don't think it will, the economic pattern will work.
All right.
I think it will, it'll change.
It will change, you
Supreme Court in
think?
2015 will be making some big decisions.
All right. Is that why you say 2015 will be more boring? What?
No, that'll be an interesting one.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, now, and like I always say, that we always allow difference to remain.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Right? Only by allowing difference to remain can you proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Other than that, you argue and argue and argue.
Oh, yeah. So
There's
that's a perfect
You
point.
reach an impasse
Right.
of nothing, of result.
And one
right?
of the great ways to handle it when two people disagree on something pretty strongly is one person just needs to be silent for a while. Because I've learned that technique.
How about this time I choose to be silent?
It's your show.
Because you're right. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, now. And then the second on top, you're talking about, no, you're not running by sequential order, not by
these are
chronicle,
random
not by chronicle order.
Correct.
You're just by importance, right?
Yes, just sort
By
of
the importance. Okay, now
as the light
you
goes
listed the Ferguson case, the Michael Brown death,
right.
on the second one, and you say there should be no story.
It should have, in my opinion, it should have been no story. I think you might agree because what it was in reality, with all of the evidence and whatever, was unfortunately a typical crime that occurred, and then there was a confrontation between a suspect and a police officer, and the police officer had to defend himself, and it was made into something that didn't happen, and that's sad.
Obviously, when you say crime, you're referring to the Michael Brown part, not the police officer's part.
I don't believe the police officer did a crime. Correct.
And the judge, or I mean, not the judge,
Grand jury.
The grand jury did not reach that conclusion, right?
Okay,
now-
they said there was
sure.
no
But to
police-
lots of people, they believe, well, still something there needs to be found out.
Well,
Right. Even though, yeah, go ahead.
But let me say, there was an African American congresswoman, okay, and she was on Hannity, a TV show, and he asked her, "Have you studied the evidence and everything? And how do you think about that?" She says, "No, I don't look at the evidence. That doesn't matter. It's just not. The evidence is not on my agenda." No, that's pretty scary.
No.
And that's
one
a congressman.
person's quotation might not be the whole nature of the event. Once again, we do let the differences remain, shall we? Right.
No
I
problem.
do hold, as my audiences know that already, I do hold strong opinions against it, against the conclusion, because I believe there has to be more reasonable way, more fair way to be achieved rather than the conclusion like that. So how about we let the differences remain for a bit?
Just let it die.
Let it die, let it die. Oh yeah, the word, right? The word.
die.
Yeah, okay.
Let it disappear.
Especially while celebrating the arrival of 2015.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do that. That's a good solution.
Love
And the third thing is Ebola.
Pretty big story.
A pretty big story. How big?
Well, fortunately, it wasn't as big as we were afraid it was going to be. Because now we will say in Africa, where the Ebola was there are hundreds or maybe thousands that have died. I think 4,000 that are dead. Okay, that's very, very tragic. 'Cause they had an area where it was passed from person to person, and with insufficient hospitalization to cure and take care of. So, and then one person came here. And then everybody got all afraid. But it's worked out very nicely in terms of, it's really sort of no longer a story in America. We hope it doesn't come back.
And luckily, our system of public health protection systems works and worked greatly. Right.
We had the expertise.
And it was 2 days ago, I heard over the news that we came to a conclusion that Ebola never did an outbreak in the United States.
There was no
We are sealed, we are protected, we are in haven, right? So we have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Right. On that issue, there's no difference.
Right.
But you and I have the common ground.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
The amount of attention in news coverage it got was staggering, though.
Oh yeah, it was. It was
staggering,
scary.
wasn't
It was scary for a while.
Yeah.
Right. And the next, oh my God, next is so embarrassing. Gay marriage legalization. You're not talking about gay marriage itself. You're talking about gay marriage legalization.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what's your take on that? That is a big, big issue of the past year.
It's a big issue, and you and I did one or two shows on it. And you know, we both agreed, I believe, that we do not agree with the propriety of legalizing gay marriage.
All
and
right.
I think we agreed we don't care who kisses who or whatever. You know, we don't
care. We don't
do.
care. Yeah.
But to me, there's a spiritual specialty to marriage.
Sure. Exactly. I'd say to my audience is that this is one of the issues that my friend Ken Hammy and I find common ground. We do, at least I am, strongly against this legalization thing.
I am.
Once again, we want to say at the beginning of the year that to confirm it, just to confirm our last year, where we stood, was that I don't care. I don't care who kisses who sleeps with who. No problem. Go ahead, right? But to legalize a relationship, to get the same paper, lots of people working years after years for it, all right, is a different issue. And yet we give them the paper. Okay, if the law finds it legal, let them do legal, right? But here, once again, you and I together allow the differences to remain.
I have a lot of gay friends and whatever.
Yeah, no.
But I
do too.
I would personally not be able to attend a gay wedding.
No. I do too. I have no problem.
Me too.
I don't know. I just want to confirm it as a marriage, legalize a marriage. Exactly. That's it. I still have my personal take. Once again, I have a declaration to make. Every time I touch the issue of that kind of attitude, right? And I'm in magnetism. I would say that this is totally my personal point of view. It doesn't represent the show, neither does it to the organization. It is nothing of the organization. It is my personal, nothing but personal point of views.
And I only speak for myself.
Yeah, sure. I speak for myself. This lips and this mind.
That's it.
And this brain, right? Okay, good. All right, next thing to it. It's the midterm election. All right, that's a big issue for last year.
It was huge.
So, what's your comment on that?
Well, you know, there was. I think it's sort of a referendum where our voters were not particularly pleased with the trend of government in America. I have a problem with both parties. I mean that you know, I believe in smaller government rather than.
But you sound a very, very, very strong Republican.
What I am, Jack, is I'm a strong American. I live for the soul of America, which I believe is the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and Bill of Rights. If any Democrat supports keeping the spirit of that alive more than a Republican, that's where I am.
You're Mr. Armstrong. No, you're Mr. Mindstrong.
Well, I'm Mindstrong on the foundation of America.
Okay, all right, good. To the midterm election, what I saw was that the democracy played.
Yes, it did.
Democracy functioned. And the beauty of democracy is that one party may act alone, right? And if they act good, they act well, they can continue doing the same thing, right? There is always, keep in mind, there is always a check and a balance. There is always a challenge, right? You have to put your whatever under the microscope of your opponents to check, right? So your opponents functions to make sure that you do your thing right. At the moment when the constituents found that you're not doing anything right, you see an overturn. Now both houses lost.
Well, what's exciting though, looking for happiness, and joy and hope is not, when we'll have a Republican Senate, a Republican Congress, a House of Representatives, and a Democratic president. When there's a split like that, that's when some of the greatest legislation in American history.
Now, once again, when the Republicans have won both houses, and then it's the Democrats' job to do the checking, and you better watch yourself. So other than that, we'll do another overturn, right? So let's take a short moment out. When we come back, we'll still look into the past year, see what had happened that makes some significance. So stay with us, please.